Paul Bergeron, and myself, Robert Early. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the public minutes from the Board of Assessors meeting held on Thursday, June 1st, accept them and place them on file?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nay. The ayes have it. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the non-public minutes from the Board of Assessors meeting held on Thursday, June 1st, 2023, accept them and place them on file?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Communications, Jennifer Zinn's department update.
Good morning, Board. We have a few changes, the largest one being that we are extremely close to having Vision come in and be our, as we put it, chief assessor / consultant contract. And it is going to the Board of Aldermen's meeting, because it is a multi-year contract, but we are very close. We're confident. It's, the mayor is backing it, as well as Tim Cummings, Director of Administrative Services. So it will be very nice to welcome to have them here. That's one of the changes. The other changes is our GIS technician is retiring. Tomorrow is her last day. She is an intricate part of the assessing department. Even though she's under her own budget line item, she does quite a bit and works extremely well with the assessing department, and we are sad to see her go. And we're going to have to kind of fill that, not only fill that position, but fill that position with somebody that's experienced not just the GIS in general, but GIS that is extremely familiar with meets and bounds, title searches, everything that starts and ends with assessing. So we are going to be at a loss for a little bit with regards to the GIS, and that I'm extremely sad to see her go. That was one change. The other change is we did have a reorg, and I am not the administrative specialist. I am now the department manager. So everybody in assessing does report to me. That's the other change, and things are going very well. We're getting through the abatements. Jessica, our assessor, one has been working extremely diligent on the residential end, and as you can see, the binder, we have quite a few that she's going to be presenting. It is a extremely timely process, which I don't know if the public understands that. Because we don't have a chief assessor in-house to sign off, we're making the analysis, we're making the recommendation, and they have to follow through to justify and to validate their, reasoning. And they do. It is a large pile, and if you have questions of that process, Jessica can explain the process, as well as Greg can explain. Greg has been working extremely hard on the commercial side, and so that's about it. So, oh, and one other thing, Cade as well as Sarah, two admins. One, she's a department coordinator, and Sarah is an admin. One, they just both completed and passed their state statutes 1 course. So they'll be going on to their state statutes 2, which is another important factor for the public to understand, that the admin staff is getting educated with retention laws, with RSAs, with understanding not only the admin part of the assessing, but I want them to be skilled with the narrative that they can answer questions with regards to assessing as well. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Any
Thank you.
questions?
No.
Paul? Nor do I. Next on the agenda, appointments. I notice there's someone in the audience. Do you have something to bring to the board?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Unfinished business, there is none. New business items. Greg, do you have some abatements?
I do have a few. The first one I have is an administrative abatement. This is basically housekeeping, bookkeeping. There was a payment made to the tax collector that got applied to their wastewater bill opposed to their tax bill. This is simply to clean up the fees and stuff that came about because it not applied to the right spot. It has since been corrected.
Question?
Yes, go ahead.
Greg, my understanding, and I think you kind of indicated this, the lien was appropriate. It's just that the payment, or a payment, was misapplied to an incorrect account.
I believe the lien was a result of the misapplied, and it's clearing it all out.
I see. During the last meeting, I had raised I raised a question, really,
Yep.
which you couldn't answer, regarding the tax collector. If a lien is inappropriately applied on a property, is the property owner notified that this occurred, and some kind of letter given to them that shows that it was an inappropriate action so they can contact the credit bureau? Do you know?
I did speak to the deputy tax collector on that, and the answer was no, they don't.
Okay. Then perhaps, well, maybe that's something we should take up with the mayor, I think. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the administrative abatement for 55 Lake Street?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Greg?
The next one I have is an abatement for the property at 35 Indian Rock Road. The property is a fairly, 20-year-old colonial. Property is in good condition. I have performed a sales analysis on it, and the analysis indicates a proportionate assessment of $611,000.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
I have a couple of questions, Greg. I noticed that the subject property you considered a B quality of construction, the others were B minus, in the other two comms, or three comms, rather. And also, the subject property has over an acre of land. The others had a half acre or less. I don't know, I thought 611 was a little low for the, considering the other three comms.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Well, the market value came in at 654. The ratio brought it down to 611.
Okay. All right, that's okay, I'll go with that then.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 35 Indian Rock Road?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Greg?
The next one I have is the property at 13 York Street. This is a newer or new manufactured housing. And again, we had a couple last week, I got a couple more this week. The manufactured housing style is difficult to maintain, as we discussed last meeting. And on this property, especially this one, he recently purchased it in February of 2022 for $115,000. We had it at $258,000. And my recommendation is $147,000 for 2022.
No, it's an arm's length, it was an arm's length transaction at 115, so as I understand it, that kind of throws out that number. There was something going on, or, it's not a traditional sale, is that correct?
No, arm's length transaction is a traditional sale.
Okay.
It's a qualified sale, willing buyer, willing seller.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, you, Paul?
No, I don't.
Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for the property at 13 York Street?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Greg?
The next one is 8 Leanne Street, also manufactured housing. And the analysis on this and my recommendation is no abatement, as the property was recently purchased for $125,000. The assessment is at $126,500.
Yep. Any questions, Paul?
Well, just one, because this phrasing comes up several times, well, fairly frequently. What does well within the range of market value for the property mean?
So what you're looking at is where we're estimating value. It's not and does not require mathematical certainty. So what I would pay for a house, you may pay a different price for the exact same house. So there's, for lack of a better term, margin of error, not really error, but differences. And usually if your market value or your determined market value is within a couple percent of what they're stating the market or what the market value is, then that's part of the estimating of value.
Okay, and I understand that. Yeah, because a family member just sold a house, and, even after the offer's made, there's a little back and forth of.
Correct.
And the price going up or down a couple of thousand, depending on what the buyer was.
And in this case, too, I spoke with this woman, and she felt she got a good price at the 125. Her thought was that I paid 125 for it, and my assessment should be 125, and I explained that's not how it works, and she was fine.
Okay, thank you.
Can I get a motion to deny the abatement request for 8 Leanne Street?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Greg.
The next one is 14 Oak Grove Trail. Again, newer manufactured housing. Basically the same as the other ones we've been going through. It was purchased in 2020 for $139,500. Our 2022 assessment is $235,300. I'm recommending a proportionate assessment of $144,000.
Any questions, Paul?
No questions, no.
Greg, she mentioned there was another unit exactly like hers. Did you look at that comp? Is that?
I'm not sure if I did or not. It was a little while ago that I did this one. I believe, if I remember correctly, the one she referenced was considerably larger than hers. It wouldn't have been a
Oh, okay.
quality comp.
You're correct.
And it's also a double wide opposed to a single wide, so it's a kind of a different,
Sure. Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 14 Oak Grove Trail?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Greg?
The next one I have is 13 Grand Avenue. This is an older Cape-style home, total of 975 square feet, not a very large property. The biggest issue with this property is its very poor condition. I inspected the property, and I can tell you the pictures that I submitted do not do it justice. Walls are falling apart. It is vacant. He does not live there.
Sorry, you said it's vacant currently?
It's currently vacant, yeah. He hasn't resided there for a few years now. There was a water leak issue, and he doesn't reside there anymore. And basically just been sitting there.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
I don't have any other questions. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 13 Grand Ave?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Greg?
The next one I have is the property at 21 Saturn Lane. And we are, it is again manufactured home, fairly new. built in 2020, purchased in 2020, basically the same as all the other ones. And I am recommending a proportion assessment of 141, very similar to the ones we've already gone through.
Question?
Any question, Paul?
The applicant included a note from a realtor saying that in the current market conditions of February 2023, price would be 148. The proposed assessment here is 141. So in your opinion, that's
Correct. The market value actually came in at 150, and then the ratio brought it down to the 141. So
okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 21 Saturn Lane?
So moved?
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Any others, Greg?
No, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next. Jessica Marchant, abatements.
Thank you. If you haven't already, you may want to remove my agenda at the front of the packet so we can all stay on the same page. There's quite a few here. The first one is a little bit different than the rest. This is just a change was made during the revaluation process where the person's deck, instead of being on the sketch, was removed and put as a yard item, which on the yard item category, it has a
All right.
column for year. And so it showed up as 2021 because that's when the change took place. The owners showed proof that they had a building permit, and the deck has been there since 2005. So they just want their property record card to reflect what they've done to the home in the right timing. So I did make the data correction back on the card. It really made barely any monetary change to the value, so it doesn't warrant an abatement. I spoke to them and explained the abatement is recommended for denial, but I've made the data correction, which is what they were looking for. So I recommend a denial of the abatement for 5 Kyle Drive.
Okay, any questions?
No.
I don't have any questions. Can I get a motion to approve the denial of the abatement request for 5 Kyle Drive?
So moved?
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
All right,
Next one.
next is 10 Althea Lane. This is a detached condo with no land. And after doing the sales comparison, comparing the property to sales within the complex, it was determined that abatement is warranted. So I'm recommending an abatement for the property at 10 Althea Lane, Unit 25.
I had a question on one of the comps, 22 Lansdowne was 70%. I think this one is 70% larger, is it not?
Did you say Lansdowne? I don't see that on my comps. This is 10 Althea Lane is the subject. I got a Cranwell, an Esquire, and another Cranwell.
I'm sorry?
The comps for 10 Althea Lane, 4 Cranwell, 11 Esquire, and 6 Cranwell.
Well, 10 Althea, that's the subject property.
Yep.
That's 36. Okay, so it's just it's in the same ballpark of square footage. Okay. Any questions, Paul?
No, I'm good.
Can I get a motion to approve the abatement on 10 Althea Lane?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
All right, next is 9 Roderick. This is a colonial-style home. The applicant listed several data corrections on their application, so I did inspect the property, did a full measure and list on it, and did make several changes to the property card. This is what happens sometimes when you do an inspection. I don't know what the result's going to be. So we did fix, I think, 3 things that were incorrect that they highlighted, which was the air conditioning. Make sure this is the right one. No. Sorry, confusing my houses here. That was a different house. All right, so we corrected the fireplace, the deck, the central air was checked. There was a portion of the home that has a cathedral ceiling, whereas we had that as second floor, so we fixed that, which now matched what they were suggesting their square footage should be. So when I made the data corrections, their value went down from 503 to 491. I then compared it to property of similar properties, other colonials with the same attributes in the time period of the revaluation, and determined that a further abatement is warranted, bringing it from originally 503 to 491, and then 491 to 475. So I am recommending approval of the abatement at 9 Roderick Circle.
Okay, any questions, Paul?
No.
I don't have any questions either. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement request for 9 Roderick Drive?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
Great. Next one is a townhouse style, 7 Bluestone. I did inspect this property, and I also compared it to sales which sold within that Bluestone complex, and I believe an abatement is warranted, so I'm recommending approval of an abatement at 7 Bluestone.
Any questions, Paul?
I don't have any.
Nor do I. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 7 Bluestone Drive?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one?
Next is Strawberry Bank, which is a garden-style condo complex. 11 Strawberry Bank was compared to other units in the same complex, and a slight abatement is warranted. So I'm recommending approval of the abatement for 11 Strawberry Bank, Unit 19.
Any questions, Paul?
No, I don't have any on this
Nor
one.
do I. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 11 Strawberry Bank, Unit number 19?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
All right, so the next 2 have the same ownership, and they applied for an abatement on both of their properties. The first one is another unit at Strawberry Bank. Just wanted to comment that they did supply 2 comps. Comp 1 was a foreclosure, so it was not a qualified sale, and Comp 2 was 300 square feet smaller than the subject, which is very significant, given it's a 900 square foot condo, garden-style condo. So I did not utilize those comps. I found my own comps within the complex that matched the attributes of the subject, and I am recommending an abatement be granted for the property at 9 Strawberry Bank, Unit 9.
Any questions, Paul?
No, I don't have any.
Nor do I. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 9 Strawberry Bank, Unit number 9?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
The other
Excellent.
property they own is a colonial-style home on 3 Sweet Meadow. The comps used here were outside of the time frame for the sales that are used for the 2022 revaluation and had not yet been determined to be qualified or not at the time of the application. So again, I used my own comps that were colonials of similar size, style, attributes that sold within the correct time frame, and recommending denial of the abatement as this property, being compared to similar homes, falls right within the line with the 2022 market value for colonials for 2022.
Any questions, Paul?
No, I would just note that in addition to what was just reported, the properties that the applicant listed as comps were considerably older than the ones that, you know, were used for this evaluation. The other comparables were constructed around the same time as the property that we're looking at, so I think these are good comps.
We are lucky in Nashua to have so many sales that we really can narrow down our comps to really try to get as close as possible to the subject.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 41 Bluestone Drive?
The
Oh,
three
I'm
Sweet
sorry,
Meadow,
It's the same owner, though.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry, the address is 3 Sweet Meadow Drive.
So moved?
So deny the abatement. I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The next one, Jessica.
All right, so we have a group here that, an ownership that owns 4 units in the city, and then one person in the ownership owns a 5th. We'll deal with the first group here first. They own 4 units together and applied for abatements on 2 of them. I did review all 4 properties, inspected 5 of the 6 that they own, and am I on the wrong thing? Hold on. I'm starting with 41 Bluestone. So this one I inspected and made data corrections on it. It just really just wasn't maintained or upkept. It really needs, it's kind of got holes in the walls and needs some renovations. So after making the data corrections, it brought the assessment from 268 to 249. I then compared it to similar properties within the Bluestone complex, and the proposed assessment was brought down again to 224.2. So I am recommending approval of the abatement for 41 Bluestone Drive.
Is it okay for them to submit a request with multiple properties on one form, or should they have?
No, they ended up, they tried that, and then I believe our staff told them they needed individual, so they just kind of photocopied, I think, the same information onto each of their applications, but they did submit individual applications.
Can we clarify that? As long as the ownership is in the exact ownership, then they can do all properties on one application. If there's a slight difference, one word missing, one letter missing within the ownership, then they have to do another abatement form.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 41 Bluestone Drive?
So moved?
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica.
All right, their other unit was 13 Strawberry Bank, so I was hanging out over there a while. So after inspecting this property, the property record card was confirmed as accurate, so there were no data corrections. After comparing the property to similar units in the complex which sold during the time, I am recommending an abatement be granted for 13 Strawberry Bank, Unit 10.
Any questions, Paul?
I don't have any. No.
I don't have any questions. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 13 Strawberry Bank, Unit 10?
So moved?
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
So 6 Lewisburg is owned by only one of the same people, so it was treated separately. I did inspect it, and there were no data changes, and the assessment for 2022 falls right in line with the market for those garden-style units at Lewisburg, so I recommend denial of the abatement at 6 Lewisburg Square.
Any questions?
No.
Nor do I. Can I get a motion to approve the denial of the abatement request for 6 Lewisburg Square, Unit Number 4?
So moved?
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica.
All right. This is 6 4th Street, which is a condex with no land. And there's similar ones in the neighborhood over there, so when it was compared to similar properties that sold, I am recommending an abatement be approved for 6 4th Street. This is actually one of those where the ratio came into play. The person compared themselves to their neighbor and asked to be at the same value as their neighbor, and I agreed, but then once the ratio got applied to it, they actually came in lower than their request, but
So they-
we have a
they-
ratio, so we have to, use it.
They don't own the land? Did you
Correct, correct. This is just a condex unit.
So there's only 2 units, right? Does the other unit own the land?
Oh, it wasn't that attached neighbor, it was just another condex in the
Oh, okay.
neighborhood that was similar to theirs that they used as a comp, which I agreed with. But due to the
Any-
ratio, it came out lower than they asked for.
Any questions, Paul?
I don't have any.
I don't have any either. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 6 4th Street?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
All right, this is 10 Doncaster. This is the one I was thinking of earlier. So I did do an inspection on this one. There were some data corrections they wanted fixed, which I fixed, which was the air conditioning, an extra hearth. We had them as a full lower level finish, which was not, so we measured it out and fixed all that. Those 3 things brought the value down. However, when you do a full inspection, you inspect everything. So we had them down as carpet, where in fact their whole house was hardwood. Their kitchen had been renovated, so that went from average to good. And their wood deck was off on square footage, a couple of feet here and there, so there was a net increase to their size. So actually, after inspecting the property and correcting the data errors, the assessment slightly increased from 426 to 429. That doesn't affect their 2022, that just goes on the record from 2023 forward. And then I did my sales comparison to similar properties which sold, and determined that an abatement is not warranted, and recommending denial of the abatement for 10 Doncaster. They do live on a road with similar homes, and I did look into those because the applicant pointed them out a couple times to me, and they do have an attached 2-car garage, which does make a significant difference. And when you have slight changes here and there to the square footages, the finished basements, the deck, and the garage, that's where you see the differences in the neighborhood. It's just within the data.
Were there any other units, any other homes on Doncaster? I know that there's a good number, but no comps from Doncaster.
Oh, wait. No, yeah, I didn't use any comps from Doncaster, although I did look at them, and I saw how, well, this one doesn't have a garage, this one has a 1-car garage, this one doesn't, one of them had a garage underneath, therefore they didn't have the
Right.
basement area that this one had, so I chose homes that were much more similar with 2-car garages, if possible, with the full underneath raised ranch style.
Any questions, Paul?
No, I don't have any.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the denial of the abatement request for 10 Doncaster Drive?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
All right, Hollow Ridge, we have 2 over here. These are detached condos with no land. And the first one, fairly straightforward, after comparing the units to other units within that same complex which sold, slight abatement is warranted. So my recommendation is to grant the abatement for 49 Hollow Ridge Drive.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
Jessica, I just have a quick question. This came up on another one, too. When you did the computations and it came out to 475, 400, but you dropped the 400, is that intentional or just,
Yeah, we round up or down
okay.
to just for a clean number.
Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 49 Hollow Ridge Drive?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
So 55 Hollow Ridge just has a special note. It's the same, I did my same comparison, and I'm recommending an abatement. These folks own the property in two separate ownerships, so they applied twice on two different abatement applications. We can't grant two abatements on the same account number, so after comparing the property, an abatement is warranted, but I'll just ask for two motions. The first one being a recommendation to grant the abatement for 55 Hollow Ridge Drive.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
Nor do I. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 55 Hollow Ridge Drive?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
And my next request is to then deny the second abatement for the property located at 55 Hollow Ridge Drive.
Does it have a number or something that we can identify?
They're both the same, so it's the same account number, it's the same address. We could use the owner's name potentially, but I don't know if we do that
Reference
before.
number?
I don't know if we have the reference number.
I don't have it right
Yeah.
here.
I could.
Could we just call it
The
duplicate abatement?
Second,
Because it does say the
Second-
second abatement,
second
which is
application.
exactly what it
Do you want to
is.
do A and B? I don't know.
Well, that's not how it's entered
Right.
in the,
Uh,
because it's all, when you enter into the CAMA system, it's assigned an appeal number, and it's the same appeal number because it's entered, because there's two ownerships.
Yeah.
So, and again, the law does not allow us to grant two on the
Right.
same
Oh, yeah.
property.
Right.
And if it was a divided interest property, that would be something different. This is not. This is a joint rights of survivorship, so therefore, it's one ownership.
Do you want me to run down and check to see if there's a different reference number?
Yeah, see if we can do an appeal. Okay.
Alright.
Greg's gonna,
Can
we
I
can
call it the
regroup.
second abatement then?
Sure.
That's what, yeah, that's what
All right.
Yeah,
I would recommend.
So can I get a motion to deny the second abatement for 55 Hollow Ridge Drive?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
excellent.
Next one,
All
Jessica.
right, the next one is 15 New Hampshire Ave. This is a colonial-style home. I did my sales comparison, comparing the property to 3 other colonials with similar attributes during the appropriate time period, and recommending that an abatement is not warranted for the property, and recommending denial of the abatement for 15 New Hampshire Ave.
Any questions, Paul?
No, like in one of the earlier cases, the comparables that the applicant submitted were
Yeah.
built decades ago.
They seem to be ranches and capes and
Yeah,
kind
and,
of, they may have been in the physical neighborhood, but they didn't seem to be too similar to the property.
Yeah, and I agree, and the comps that staff provided are all recent construction, so I'm comfortable with the recommendation for denial.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the denial of the abatement request for 15 New Hampshire Ave?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
All right, we're on the home stretch. All these last 4 are garden-style condos at Mountain Laurels Drive. So, first one is at 10 Mountain Laurels. We had sales over there, so I was able to compare the property to similar units within that same complex, which sold, and I am recommending to approve the abatement for 10 Mountain Laurels, Unit 203.
Question?
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, and it doesn't affect the price at all, but the subject property has a room count of 4 included on the comp sheet, whereas all the other properties have room counts of 5, yet the square footage is the same in all the properties. Do you know why the room count is lower on unit 203 than the others?
Room count is, it's strange because it doesn't affect the value.
Yeah.
It's the square footage, and unfortunately, it's a little subjective. I could walk, especially with open concept homes these days, I could walk in and say you have a kitchen, living, and dining room where you really don't have a dining room. It's just your table is in the open. So we count bedrooms, we don't count bathrooms, and then the living areas, unfortunately, sometimes don't match up.
No, understood.
Which is why
Thank
we
you.
go by the square footage, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the open concept. So, let's see, can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 10 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 203?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one, Jessica?
All right, next one is same situation at 10 Unit 605. Once it was compared to similar units in that same complex which sold, my recommendation is to approve the abatement at 10 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 605.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
Nor do I. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 10 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 605?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Okay, next one.
All right. This one is 12 Mountain Laurels Drive. And it's the same situation. After comparing, I recommend approving this abatement for 12 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 406.
Any questions, Paul?
No.
Nor do I. Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 12 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 406?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
All right, last one.
Last but not least,
Same exact situation, and I recommend approving the abatement at 14 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 201. '14 and 16 are slightly different than units, I think it's 10, 12. 10 and 12 were built first, so 14 and 16 were newer, so I just compared them to the newer style model.
I thought that the number you came out with was a bit low compared to comps 2 and 3, which are in the same building. It seemed to be the same size, basically.
So my recommended market value was $497, which is right between that $488 and the $505. But when they applied the ratio, it brought it down to $464. Is that what you were looking at?
Okay. Any
You think the
questions?
497 was too low, or the 464?
No, the 464.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, that
direct
ratio
result of
gets
the
you.
ratio.
Yeah. Any questions, Paul?
No, I don't have any.
Can I get a motion to approve the abatement for 14 Mountain Laurels Drive, Unit 201?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Any others, Jessica?
That's it.
That's it.
Till
Thank
next
you.
time.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Public comment? Does anybody?
I think Jennifer has something for us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jennifer?
All right, thank you, Jessica. As you can see, she had 20 abatements, so mine will be much less time-consuming. The first one is a new disabled veterans credit with the city's recommendation of approval. Paperwork was supplied and completed before the deadline. unfortunately, we were still waiting for a spouse's signature, which is fine. Still, the applicant, that is the veteran, did sign it before the deadline, and it did not make it to the last Board of Assessors meeting to get, to go for the city's recommendation of approval.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the credit approval for 39 Vespa Lane?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Next one,
The next one is the same scenario, except for, this is a new all-veterans credit, and this is for the property at 23 Cassandra Lane, with the city's recommendation of an approval.
any questions, Paul?
No.
I don't either. Can I get a motion to approve the credit for, all veterans credit, rather, for 23 Cassandra Lane?
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Is that it, Jennifer?
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have public comment. The person who was here has left, so I don't believe we have any public comment. Comments by members of the board. Paul?
I don't have anything.
Nor do I. Okay. I just have one little request, though. I don't know who, if it's Jessica or not, or some, the staff, but if we could have the abatement recommendation as the first page
Okay.
of each one, it makes it easier to go through and find
Sure.
which one we're working on, so. Okay, I move can I get a motion to go into non-public for two reasons? First, to discuss matters which, if discussed in public, would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board, unless such person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to include any application for assistance or tax abatement or waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy if based on inability to pay or poverty of the applicant pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, parentheses C, second, under 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, parentheses L, for the consideration of legal advice provided by legal counsel, either in writing or orally, to one or more members of the public body, even where legal counsel is not present.
So moved.
I'll second that. Can I get a not roll call, but yes, roll call.
Roll call.
Paul?
Yes.
Robert Early, yes. The motion carries. We're now in non-public.